Okay, this is my Kubota T1760. I got this machine along with a Cub Cadet on trade from my side-by-side. The issue with this machine, it does not run. It's got no spark. It uses a CDI style ignition. It is a Kawasaki V-twin liquid cooled. I do have all the parts for it in the garage. It's a lot easier to work on this engine with it disassembled. I'm kind of at wit's end with this machine at the moment. They make conversion kits for old engines to convert them over to like a non-points and condenser, or convert them over to more like electronic style ignitions. I wish they would do the same for this, because the parts for this engine are very, very expensive. A brand new CDI box is between $300 and $400. These little, I believe I'd call them pickup coils. I'm not sure what they're 100% called. The set is worth almost $300. That's new, obviously. The coils are actually the only cheap thing on this. You can actually get a set of coils for this engine for under $20. Everything else is very expensive for this machine or for this engine, but you can get a set of coils for under 20 bucks a piece. So that seems kind of ridiculous. Why are the coils so cheap, but everything else is so expensive, like the CDI box and the little pickup coils? So I'm kind of at wit's end a little bit on this machine. I'm kind of tired of it right now at the moment. I'm actually considering ripping that engine out and putting a Briggs & Stratton in there. So it'll be a lot easier to work on. Parts are more readily available. Parts are cheaper. I know it will be a bit of a bastard machine with a Kubota frame and a Briggs & Stratton heart, but it will be overall better. The only difficult part will be the wiring. The Kubota here, this particular model, since it does not have a typical style ignition, it uses all electronics. To shut it off, it shuts off the power to the CDI box. So I'd have to figure out a way of shutting it off, either doing a kill switch or rewiring it with a typical wiring harness from a typical machine. But the next model down, this is a 1760, I believe it's the 1600, T1600, uses a single cylinder Kawasaki that uses a standard coil. And it's pretty much exactly the same machine. This machine here is being liquid cooled, that machine there being air cooled. So if I get a hold of one of those wiring harnesses, actually I know where there is one, but it's in a machine. But if I get a hold of one of those wiring harnesses, I could rewire this machine with a typical style wiring harness, and I'd be good to go. It'd still be Kubota, still be Kawasaki, and I'd still put a Briggs & Stratton in there, and I could wire it up Briggs & Stratton. So that's where we are right now on this machine. It's on hold. I do have a few lines on some engines, but simply now with the side panels on, I don't know if it's going to fit. I do have a couple Intex sitting around here that are in machines, so I might take some measurements off of them and see what it looks like in here. I also have a Vanguard. I could take a measurement off of it and see what the difference is in size. Because if I can pick up a Briggs Intech, I could pull the Vanguard out of the machine I have a Vanguard in. I could put the Vanguard in here, and I could swap around a few things. That's not really a big deal for me to have to do that. So any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Pretty much anything I do with a traditional Briggs Intech or Vanguard, it's going to be tight. There's no way I'm getting a Kohler in here. They're just a little bit too big. The exhaust, I checked, it should work out pretty much in the same spot. The only other thing is the crankshaft. I believe this uses an 1.125" crankshaft. Traditionally, Briggs & Strattons use about 1 inch. So you can get an adapter, or you can figure something else out down the road, like a different pulley. I might still have the original Kubota pulley from a machine I had many years ago. I vaguely remember seeing it. So if that works out, we'll have to wait and see. So before I make up my mind on this, I gotta pull the crankshaft pulley off and see what it is, and we'll go from there. Or I'll end up selling the machine. But that's just a quick update on this machine. It's actually a very clean machine. It's in very good condition. Tires are all good. Body panels are in good shape. The seat's got a few tears. That's typical, but it's just the problem with this engine. And these engines are very expensive. Actually, my local parts shop actually has a Kawasaki liquid cooled twin, but he wants over $1,000 for it, and that's really more than the machine's worth. The machine, it'd be pretty tough profit margins if I was to put that engine in here, and also it'd be a risk putting that engine in here. If it doesn't run, it might have the same issue. So there's where we are. Just a quick update on this machine, and that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please try and comment.